Richician.
Hey YouTube, Richician84 here, and welcome to Q&A number 140. So there's not a lot of questions this week. Of course, I've said that before, and somehow the episode ended up being ridiculously long. But yeah, let's kick it off. So the first question is from Pokemaster Cube. Yeah. Konami announced Yu-Gi-Oh! Crossovers with some of their other franchises. Which combos would you like to see? The crossover can go either other franchise into Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, or Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters, monsters appear in the other franchise. I feel like I've asked Webbers5 this once upon a time, but, and he said it would be kind of hard to do that. I agree with that. I mean, Pokemon and Digimon would make more sense, and I guess so would Cardfight Vanguard, but the problem is, well, obviously I'm not into any of those other games. I mean, I kind of know the story of Pokemon in a way. Digimon, not so much. I mean, Pokemon, even though I'm not into it, I feel like it's something I would watch anyway, because at least I know some things about Pokemon, as I said in another episode. Of course, what I'd like to see is a crossover with either Sonic or the Marvel Universe or the DC Universe, since I'm really into those. A big Sonic fan, big comic book superhero fan, especially when it comes to Superman and Spider-Man. I don't know how it would work though. I don't see it being like that crossover with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Rick and Morty. But but I think it would work if the characters, you know, made an appearance and certain monster cards just came alive and worked together with, well, everyone, like Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl especially. Next questions are from George how do you say this last bit? George V7M? Sorry if I completely butchered that. One, what did my boy Cyber Dragon do to you? Okay, I feel like we should make some things clear about Cyber Dragon and the deck. Like, I have nothing against Cyber Dragon, as in the card Cyber Dragon. Like, if anything, Cyber Dragon is one of my all-time favourite machine monsters. In fact, he's in the top 10. I don't remember if I did that top 10 video on this channel, Team Sorcerers, though, but yeah. In any case, he's one of my all-time favourite machines, plus I have a September 2007 format Cyber Dragon deck, which is more of a mix with Cyber Darks, and it's like part past format deck, part Zane character deck. Plus, Cyber Twin and Cyber End Dragon are fusion monsters that I really like. It's always fun going into them. Plus, it's actually a real shame that the original fusions just don't seem to see play anymore. But when it comes to Cyber Dragons, as in the deck, I just hate the way it's played now. Like, literally, I don't mean any disrespect to any Cyber Dragon players, of course, but literally, all they ever do is summon Infinity and just get a free win, because it's a negate. That is, if they're going first, and if they're going second, they still drop Infinity, but also drop Seeger and Rampage, and just use and abuse them for OTK purposes. And it's just really annoying as well as boring. It's like, why can't you just do something else? You know? It just doesn't feel like a classic GX deck anymore. Of course, with this being said, my main beef is with Cyber Dragon Infinity. So, the real question is, what did Cyber Dragon Infinity do to me? And the answer is everything. Like, that fucking card has been a thorn in my side for the last 8 years, and it just ruined Cyber Dragons for me. Like, I mean, that fucker is like the source of my hatred for Cyber Dragons, or at least the main source anyway. Like I said, it just negates everything, and it's just basically an auto win button. Like, whenever that card comes out, it's game over. Like, same can be said with any monster that negates everything. Dragoon, totally arsehole, Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. But anyway, I'm digressing. There were like a couple of times I was able to get rid of Infinity, but most of the time it's just game over, because I can't do shit to get around it. And I just really fucking hate monsters that negate everything. In fact, monsters like that shouldn't exist in the game. Monsters like that are part of the reason why I not only stopped playing in the normal tournaments, but also stopped playing in the normal current format, and also why I banned Infinity from Richician format. But yeah, as for Infinity being banned in the minor league, like, that had nothing to do with me. It was already banned before I even started playing in minor league tournaments. So yeah, it just goes to show that it's not just me that has a problem with Infinity. And, well, that's really all there is to it. 2. What do Cyber Dragons need to be given / taken away to be fair? Well, I don't know what needs to be given to them, but I know exactly what needs to be taken away to make them fair. Ban Cyber Dragon Infinity, even though, like I said, it's already banned in the minor league and Richician format. Ban Fearon King Regulus, because it's also a monster that negates everything. Ban Chimeratech Rampage Dragon, because it's an OTK card. Ban Cyber Dragon Seeger, because it's an OTK enabler. And put limiter removal back to 1. I can't remember which ban list it was that it came back to 3, but honestly, why Konami did that is beyond me. It was one of their many stupid ban list changes. It was limited, and limited for a long time, for a good reason. But with limiter removal at 3, it just makes it too easy for the best machine decks to be able to OTK. I mean, I know they can anyway, but having 3 copies of limiter removal just increases the chances of that happening. Um, but yeah, that answers that question. 3. Will you ever play advanced? I'm gonna say fuck no to that one. Here's a question. Why are people trying to rope me into playing the normal current format? Like, normal current format is shit. I really don't want to play that way anymore. Technically, I have been playing advanced for like over 20 years, but now I just really don't want to anymore. For reasons I already mentioned in previous videos, but I guess I'll go over it again for the sake of the question. It's just got way too competitive. There's just too many OTK and lockdown decks, and just too many players just playing them and seeming to just only care about winning and winning with those sorts of decks rather than just play for the fun of it, regardless of the setting. And then of course there's the fact that Ash Blossom exists. The fact that it just stops too many things, and even to the point where it can just end someone's turn or cause the scoop phase. I mean, I know obviously it's it is allowed in the minor league, but why it is beyond me. I mean, that card just defeats the whole point of the minor league and just goes against the spirit of it. It's a casual tournament, and it's supposed to be a casual setting, where everyone has a fair chance of being able to do something. Some of us just want to play the game and not have our plays stopped all the time. I mean, as I said before, I don't know why the others have a problem with Ash being banned in the minor league. I mean, it's not like I'm asking for it to be banned on the actual ban list. Plus, Ash was made to specifically counter meta. Nobody is playing meta in the minor league, and whenever someone uses an Ash Blossom on me, I feel like I'm being punished for a crime that the meta committed, and I didn't. I mean, why else would I be trying desperately to get it banned from the minor league? I'm not doing it for the fun of it. These are perfectly valid reasons. But yeah, that's that. And the other reason why I won't play the normal current format is because of too many shit ban lists. I mean, I know the list we recently got wasn't that shit. I mean, Baron de Fleur and Borreload Savage Dragon getting banned was by far the best two things about that list. I mean, I know you won't agree with me about Borreload Savage Dragon, and neither will the other George, but both of them are monsters that negate everything, and they absolutely deserved to be banned after all the pain and suffering they've caused. So yeah, fuck advanced format and everything it stands for. 4. Would you rather play against full power Ishizu tier, Stein OTK, or Catapult Turtle FTK? I would like to go for the fourth option, none of the above. Although, if I really had to pick, I suppose I would say Stein OTK. Alright, yeah, it was the most obnoxious and toxic deck in the format back in the day, but at least it could be stopped more easily than the other two. I mean, every time I went up against it, I never won against it, but at least Threatening Roar, Woboku, and even Karibo could, like, buy me a turn and give me a chance to fight back. Didn't work out that way. Um, Whereas FTK decks of any kind are just impossible to beat, unless of course they brick, but then again bricking doesn't always happen. And as for a Shizu tier, well, it's one of those decks that just seems to have an answer for everything. I mean, why anyone enjoys full power tier limits format is beyond me. Like, it was one of the worst formats ever. But yeah, realistically, my real answer is none of those. 5. Should I come back to minor league and play Cyber Dragon? I mean, it's up to you, pal. I mean, you're always welcome to come and join us, but even though I've already been bullied by a machine OTK deck last night, stupid ancient gears. 6. What did my boy Cyber Dragon do to you? I already answered that, so I'm not going to answer it again. And the last questions are from Matt and Alison Welch, which makes a change because they usually get there first. 1. Any thoughts and opinions on the new Cyber Dragon structure deck being released later this year, and what do you hope we get in this deck? I want to see a retrain of Blue Eyes Shining Dragon, or a support card that makes it easier to bring out. Yeah, I was very surprised by this news. That's very interesting, especially since this is the second structure deck Blue Eyes White Dragon got, but Dark Magician didn't really, nor did Red Eyes. Alright, yes, they have been in structure decks, the very first structure deck and Spellcaster's Judgment, but it didn't. But Red Eyes and Dark Magician weren't even the focus. So, what's up with that, Konami? I mean, it is a pleasant surprise, but honestly, I don't really know what more Blue Eyes White Dragon needs, really, since it's got loads of support already. I know Express Gaming says it needs some cards to make it less bricky and more consistent, but I'm not sure what they could have to get it to that state, really. I mean, I guess more searches for the high level ones, or some more low level monsters. Might be an idea. I know Express Gaming said it could do with more low level monsters, but it's hard to say for sure. I don't think there should be a retrain of Blue Eyes Shining Dragon, really, because then it sort of takes away from the original, like with the Armed Dragons and Armed Dragon Thunder. It's like when the Armed Dragon Thunders came out, they were being played, but then the originals seem to have been tossed aside. It's just kind of sad to see, really. But I guess a support card to make it more accessible would be nice. Maybe have a card that says if you control a Blue Eyes fusion monster, special summon Blue Eyes Shining Dragon from your hand or deck, ignoring summoning conditions, or something that says activate only when a Blue Eyes fusion monster leaves the field, special summon Blue Eyes Shining Dragon from your hand or deck, or even graveyard, ignoring summoning conditions. That would be good. And I know my friend Emma Blue Eyes 10 would definitely be on board with that if she was still playing. And the last question. What do you think about some of the new anime cards finally getting released in Animation Chronicles 2024? The Duke of Demise and other cards, Bakura, aka Zork, used against Kaiba in Dawn of the Duel, have also been announced in this set. Well, that's really cool. I never thought I'd see the day where we'd get to see the Duke of Demise as a real card. I mean, the fusion materials surprised me, though. I seriously thought it was going to specifically list Earl of Demise and Headless Knight, but that wasn't the case. But at least it makes it more usable, I guess. So I'm going to assume that we're going to get the tablet cards that Bakura used against Kaiba, or maybe even those Necro cards that he used against Yugi, in Little Yugi. I just wonder how a real version of the cursed doll cards would work. I mean, the one that gives Yugi life points, and the one which basically cursed Bakura and made it so that his graveyard is no more. So, like, wouldn't that mean that if that was a real card, anything that would get sent to the graveyard gets banished instead? So it becomes a one-sided D-fissure or macro, but only affects the card holder. I'm curious to see how that would work, should we get them. Of course, I've not seen the full list, because, well, I don't keep track of these things, you see. All I know is that anything that gets released in these sets gets released in a later Battles of Legends set. So I've no idea what else we're going to get, but it sounds like, once again, they're not going for Valen's armor cards, or the alchemy beasts like you want. Like, I know you've wanted to see being made into real cards, and it's like all those cards be like, am I a joke to you? Still, there's always next year, or the year before, I guess. I don't know if I'll pick up anything from that set. Depends what else is there. Oh god, I just farted, sorry. And yeah, that's it for questions in this episode. Thanks very much for your guys' questions, very cool ones as always. And if you've got any other questions you want to ask me, post them in the comments section down below. And remember, I do these episodes every Tuesday afternoon or evening, UK time, so be sure to get your questions in before then, so that you don't miss out. Thanks again, stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.